think that's
So I
super
just got a
selfish
kill, but you
for
missed it.
having a
That
male alpha
sucks,
male.
Yeah,
dog.
I don't think that's a fair
That
assessment.
sucks.
But it's just it
I
was
mean,
just
it is like mostly male listeners, but I think they use the term
Facing
bro
young.
to like
I think he's a
be a little
silver,
bit
bronze, some shit like that. Some dog
to
shit.
undermine the audience a little bit.
I'm dog shit
Like
too.
it's like
I
the
ain't no
version of
bronze no
calling
more,
like your
dog.
fan base ghetto.
yeah, urban, no urban,
No, but ghetto.
ghetto. Yeah,
If
yeah,
Almost
yeah.
ran out of
Urban,
mana
calling
mid
them
mid
black is
kill too.
fine,
So
but if you want
that
to
was
be
a
like,
thing.
hey, they're only this class or only this
Vision's
yeah,
version,
still
yeah,
or you
yeah,
use
there.
the
yeah,
term
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
But I think you
Lux
guys take
top
back
got me
bro. Dude, bro's
confused.
fire.
I don't have a problem with that.
No one
But
bottom.
I was interested in what I saw like different articles because you talked about this last week, and then when I heard the podcast for myself, and then I was reading the
Some
different
of
articles, it
these
started to make
games.
sense to me.
But it's
You
whatever.
really do have people that'll watch one thing and
Fixed
come
my
to two
keybinds. I
different
got
conclusions
hacked
about it. And neither one of them is
like two
wrong.
days
So
ago,
it's
two,
literally
three
just
days
based
ago.
on perception. And that's what art is. Like whether you believe it or not, these conversations that we have are a form of art. So once you put this art out, people watch the art and it's no longer yours.
It's not you.
The only thing that matters is your intention. So if you believe Charlemagne is a Democratic shill, you watch the interview,
That's all you
that's
see.
what you're gonna see.
Yeah.
If you believe Schultz is MAGA, you watch the interview, that's what you're gonna believe. But the thing people I like are the people who don't know us really at all.
Who got
So
me?
then you're looking and it's like I see things. Comedian
Yo,
laughs in Donald Trump's
she got me
face.
by.
Andrew Schultz, the comedian that
And this is the
embarrassed
day
Donald Trump. I know
Arcane
that wasn't
2
your intention.
comes out.
Yeah.
You were just sitting there having a conversation.
So I'm
I
missing
know
that.
Andrew. So in my mind, I'm like, Andrew, Akash, they want
Unless I could watch that later
they're
tonight, but I
going
don't
for the
have
laugh.
time on some
They're
real
going
shit.
for the humor. All they're looking for is the funny. And
I'm
Trump is
trying to
looking
watch
for you to be
Arcane
funny.
though.
Yeah.
So when you're laughing
For
with him, you're
sure.
not trying to embarrass him.
That was the
You
craziest.
thought
Yeah.
it was funny.
That's the craziest thing about the interview is that like somehow both sides loved it and they lauded me as like this hero. The left was like, he's embarrassed, he's laughing right at Trump, and the right was like, finally he's somebody who's humanizing Trump or whatever. My this was my take on the interview. Like one, I've never been a gotcha guy. Like I think the gotcha shit is like narcissistic. I go in there and I try to get him. My base pats my back, but then nothing changes. He doesn't think about policy differently. He doesn't think about the things that I actually care about. It's just for me to get patted on the back and people go, yeah, you held him to the fire. The world doesn't change. Culture doesn't change.
Yeah.
The way I approached it was this. What are the things that I really care about in this election? There were three. Protecting IVF. Obviously, that's how we were able to have a child. So I don't want the Roe v. Wade thing to affect IVF, and it has in certain
Can I
places.
say one thing?
It's too easy sometimes, man.
I thought the Baron Trump shit was brilliant
Thank you.
because it is a way for him to have to really sit back and question, like,
Uh-oh.
damn,
Yeah.
because nobody believes in abortion until you get the wrong person pregnant. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of them want Roe v. Wade to be gone until it's like, whoa, wait a minute, you got your little mistress pregnant, buddy. Yo, little Baron just got this little freak down in New York University pregnant. Like now it's like, whoa. So I thought that was brilliant.
And it was just a joke, so it was like you don't have to take it that seriously.
But it gives you something to think
But
about.
it is something to think about.
Absolutely.
So the IVF thing was most important, and then obviously the deportation thing was.
It gets too easy sometimes, man.
People who are criminals, murderers, 100%. But there are also people who've come here and like I've worked with them for years in different jobs that I've had. They've worked for me, like. They're great people.
Come get me, come get me.
And yes, maybe they went about it illegally. I understand, but if they've been here for 5, 10 years, maybe we could have some empathy for the situation they're in, the situation they came from.
You know how butt he is. I can get my OP build. So
So I'm saying,
litty.
let's create a separation between criminals that are here, murderers that are here, and people fucking busting their ass and really trying to live the American dream. And I thought he was empathetic to that. It was the IVF, there was that, and then there was one more. What was the other thing? Foreign war.
Oh no, another thing you said that I liked.
Foreign wars.
What was the foreign
Just
war?
foreign policy in terms of like wars. I don't want endless war. Right? And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
my concern
Absolutely.
was, in a lot of times, also is like the idea of like a nuclear holocaust, like we all kill each other with nukes. And he's like, of the presidents that I've heard talk about it, seemingly the most concerned about nuclear war. And those are the things that I wanted to really talk to him about. And the way that I looked at it and my positioning of it, this is the whole thing is, if I can get him comfortable where he doesn't feel like he's being defensive, I can tell you what I really care about
Ew.
How often
Troll.
does a human being get the chance to tell potentially the leader of the free
Fucking
world, the leader of your
troll.
country, what you really care about?
I'd be
I could do it in a
mad.
gotcha way, and I could say,
I'd
like, yeah,
be
fuck you.
mad.
Or I could maybe do it in a way where he goes,
Nah.
hey, wow, that guy actually made some sense, and maybe we should have some empathy for these situations. Like, that was my take, and I feel like I got what I wanted out of it. Whatever
I'd be
anybody else wants to
pissed.
frame it as, that's theirs. But that's what was important to me.
I think you did a great job, and I think another thing you said in there was when you pushed back on him when he kept saying America's terrible.
Oh, that was the other thing. I love this country. It is an amazing country, and I don't like it when politicians or anybody else just shits on it constantly. It doesn't make me feel good. I'm proud of it.
You see who doesn't do that?
Who?
Kamala. In the Fox News article, in the interview, she pushed back on Brett Baer. She was like, I'm not going to call the American people stupid just because they want to vote for Trump. I'm not going to call them stupid.
And then she was like, that's something Trump would do.
Yeah, exactly, which is true.
So are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
are they stupid?
God, I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within. An enemy within.
Go base. What are you doing, yo?
Suggesting he
What's
was
his build?
American
Nothing.
military on the American people.
Yeah. But I like her just saying
Oh,
that.
that's fucking fail.
And the point that I was trying to communicate right there is like, we are proud of this country. We still live here. We're still a part of it. You can't just shit on it nonstop without us starting to get defensive. There are things that we can make better. What I basically told him is like, we like hope. Americans are hopeful people. We come from people who left destitute situations, took boats fucking here, and literally just showed up like, I think it's going to work out. So we like hope. If you tell us that the American dream is going to happen here, we will fucking believe it. Sell us on the American dream. Don't sell us on, hey, your neighborhoods are shit and everything is overrun.
That's how Obama came up, talking about hope and change.
We love hope.
You know, it's interesting, right? Put some AC, please. Because out of everything that Trump does and says, that's like
Fair
the
enough.
thing that I can't believe
Fair enough.
America isn't pushing back on.
Fair enough.
How unpatriotic it can be.
Well, I think that's what I think this messaging isn't as effective as MAGA initially was.
Fair enough.
He even taught in the conversation, he even goes, yeah, we
What
did
am I
a
building?
thing called CAG,
Correct.
Keep America Great. And that was his way of almost like acknowledging, I hear what you're saying, like we want to inspire, but I think he's also like
I changed my keybinds. Like I said,
so me making them
fixed everything, man. Got it back to what it was.
effective is the dream, especially
It's actually better because I can do this shit now.
We want hope that it's going to be
The
great.
American dream.
And he sold that first time.
I wasn't able to do that.
I get it. Same thing with Barack did. You know, it's
Ping my
interesting,
abilities.
even going back to what we was talking about, like when you watch the media.
So that changed. I was trying to do that.
From your perspective, from your intention to me, is what matters the most. Right. What is your intention when you go into an interview? Like my intention is always just to have the best conversation. To what you just said, I feel like that with politicians, entertainers, whoever. Yeah. I'm just a guy who's lucky enough to be able to talk to people that we normally talk about.
Yep.
Right? And so when you look at somebody and they'll do the headline like, if they don't know you're a comedy podcast, they're like, oh, they just in there yucking it up with Trump. Isn't it? It's a comedy podcast.
Also, so what if we were?
That's your approach.
Yeah, like what if that is the approach? What if I think that's what
they want you to crash out? You know, it's the crash out era.
That's not.
You're not supposed to have conversation. You're supposed to have trash. You're supposed to crash out.
Exactly, but like that's like such short-term greed.
Very.
Like you get a few views, a few clicks right now, but you don't affect culture. You don't affect the world.
Nah, all my favorite interviewers ever, historically, knew how to have conversation, even if the conversation got a little contentious. You know what I'm saying? Like I like what the New York Times said about me and Kamala's conversation, me and the vice president's conversation. They said it was friendly but pointed.
Yeah, you push back on things.
That's what you want.
And I loved it. I thought we listened to the whole thing and listened to live. All of us at Flagrant. We recorded Flagrant and then afterwards we listened to it. And
have you used my R yet?
I understand that you wanted the
I
platform.
haven't even upgraded my
The only pushback
Q. I haven't even noticed that.
It was geared towards Black America, but I didn't know that it was geared towards Black America. So I'm coming in listening to it going like, we're 14 days out or whatever from the election. Like, why are we just talking about Black America? Like, tell me what you're going to do for all America. Tell me what you're going to do. Like, my daughter's not Black. How are you going to affect the world for her? And but I understand this was in Detroit, and maybe you were framing it within that lens. I would just like to see you interview her again. Every time I want to see it, because I think you don't fluff her. Like, you'll make jokes with her, you'll ask her questions, and then you'll give some pushback, and then you get to see a better version of her. It's like we said on this pod. She does not do good with the fake puff interviews. No. She does way better when you ask her.
Ooh, he got me.
You push, like even the fucking Fox one. That was great. I feel like she's better on that than any of the liberal outlets that just fluff her shit.
You said something to me, man. I don't know if it was a couple weeks ago, but when you said it, I was like, yo, you're absolutely right. It was great when she's angry.
Let her be angry.
When she gets upset, she's great.
Yo, you better bass. You better bass. No, you better bass.
She's an Indian woman.
Out on my arm. No. Dog, you better bass. Oh, I hate this 10-second shit.
He's right. She is Indian and Jamaican. I get it. Yes, but no, she's really good in that. Those heated shit when when she stopped Brett Barron was like,
Give me the fuck back.
You know good and goddamn well. She ain't say that, but you know good and goddamn well that ain't the clip I'm talking about. Brett had to come back the next day and apologize.
Skirt.
Because it wasn't live.
But they always know what they're doing, but it's right. So he actually pushes back.
Yo.
You gotta do it right there in the moment.
They think that they can get it right past her because when she's in these puff pieces, everybody's acting. Colbert's acting and she's acting. Yeah. We're all doing, it's almost like before the podcast, we go, hey, let's have this conversation and talk about the whole conversation, then me and you try to recreate it. You'll feel phony in it.
I don't know if Colbert's acting. That's really who he is.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah. I don't think Colbert's acting. I get what I can see other places.
Not Colbert, but I don't know. Maybe Colbert in the fact that it's just so supportive.
Colbert is
he wants her to win.
He wants her to win, and it's still a late night show, so it's still things I have to do from a late night show perspective. I like the View. You go on the View is going to do the same thing. The View's going to, wink at her and all that. Like they're going to do that. Yeah. Brett Barron is probably the place she's going to go to get like
the most pushback.
It's going to be all pushback.
Yeah, and she's better with
that. All pushback. Me, I'm going to have the conversation, and there's things that I'm going to push back on, like the border, right? Yeah. Because I just to your point, I said it. Like, why can't we just admit what we got wrong at the border? But
easy combos, dog.
Take some blame for the border, though. A lot of the blame, because the first 3 years, y'all did get a lot of things wrong with the border.
No, Charlemagne. Within hours of being inaugurated, the first bill we passed before we did the Inflation Reduction Act, before we did the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act, before we did the Safer Communities Act to deal with gun violence, first thing we dropped was a bill to fix the broken immigration system.
Yo, I'm telling you, and this is how...
From a political perspective, they said it's bad.
And I thought this was kind of unanimous amongst all of us that were listening. Al, you speak...
I should have cleared that. That's my fault. I don't give a fuck at this point.
Really impressed with her. Like, her knowledge...
That motherfucker is gone, dude.
Information, all the pushback that she could give, whatever questions...
That motherfucker is gone.
I feel like she was in good spirits. Like, everything sounded good. Again, it's not the most entertaining, but she sounds like she knows what the fuck she's talking about. Mm-hmm. That's what I got. The border thing, it just was a lack of... There was a lack of, like, accountability or even a feeling of, yeah, we got to change something. It didn't feel like she even felt that we need to change. And then...
She answered it like a politician.
She answered it like a politician. And then when that happened, my gut reaction was... Oh, shit, was the rest of the stuff she said also denying what people are actually feeling? Like, I started to lose faith in the rest.
No assist, though. That's tough.
She seemed like she couldn't just answer honestly this one thing that I think we can all agree on. But we got to do something about the border.
It's a simple answer. The answer is, hey, the border's fucked up. And it's been fucked up for a long time under a lot of different administrations, and it's going to take an actual piece of bipartisan legislation, not executive orders putting band-aids on it, whether it's from Trump, whether it's from Biden. We got to come together and create real legislation to fix the border.
And if she said that, and then she was like, and you know what we need to do? And we should have done this during the Biden administration, and maybe this is where we separate, but like, because it's such a severe issue, we probably should have put up executive orders until we reach the bipartisan,
They did, though.
Then say that. What I'm saying is...
I wonder if people...
I'm ruining my ass, dog. I could have got the S there, dude.
No, they did it in the last couple of years.
Fuck, man.
I think the first year was like really, really, really bad. I remember watching those videos
Being
on
stupid.
CNN, and it was like, whoa.
And was it bad because they changed something from Trump?
Yes, they did. I
So
forgot exactly
if
what
it's
it was.
bad because they changed something from Trump, just say, hey, we made this change from the Trump administration. It was wrong. We messed up. We've been trying to correct it. We have done corrective measures, and we will continue to correct it even further in my
That shit just
administration.
did
You say that to
nothing.
me, I believe everything she said before.
And that. You know the problem with politics? Because you're not wrong. The problem with politics is that nobody wants to say anything the
admit
other
they did
side
anything.
did was right because it's like you're giving them a political win. It's the same thing with the bipartisan border bill that they created. Republicans were all ready to do it because everybody's on the same page that this needs to be fixed. But then Trump comes and goes, no, don't give them a political win. Wait till I get back in office, which is fucked up.
Which is fucked up.
And a thing they don't mention a lot is the reason why Biden undid all those executive orders in the first place is because so many people were complaining about the harsh conditions at the border that Trump was putting them in.
They were complaining about him under Obama.
I know, but like
about him under Trump.
The caravans and splitting of families and all that.
It's been happening.
He got in office thinking that he's going to do something good. He's like, hey, I'm going to undo all these things that are splitting up families and all that at the border. But then it created another
So
problem.
counter in that. So say that. Hey, we had good intentions. We didn't want to split up the families. We didn't want to put these people through horrible conditions that are trying to leave horrible conditions. In doing that, we've created a border that doesn't have enough security. There are way too many people coming in. It's unchecked, and there are people who are criminals and blah, blah, blah that are coming into America.
That's
That's
no
not
hope.
safe. That's not right. We have taken
Your whole game.
further in my administration, take Marriage to America and perfect that border. That's going to be the best
Fucking
border you've
B.
ever seen in your entire life. We understand what we have to do, and we're going to continue to do it. You say that, I believe all the other stuff you said.
Fucking B plus. Fuck out of here.
They can't admit when they're wrong.
They can't, and that's the problem.
Didn't realize bro left.
It's crazy. And it's
I didn't realize that. I'm getting these bullshit games. Everybody's been leaving.
I'm telling you, perspective is crazy. Like,
But then they look at Trump, who never admits he's never done anything
Never
wrong,
once.
and he's winning.
I just don't like the double
it's like,
standards. Well, he's
why
not
would
winning.
they?
Nobody's winning.
No, but I
currently.
mean, like, he's still doing very well, still has control over his party.
He's winning
because
that
he's
shit.
never
Say
admitted he's
that
ever
shit
been
again.
wrong
Say that
ever
shit
once in his
again.
life.
He's winning that
Not
shit.
only has Donald
That
Trump
shit
never
is
admitted he's
crazy.
wrong,
Bro.
you know, people, it's funny, right? They'll be like,
Can't get that S. Dead ass can't get that S. That's crazy, dog.
She doesn't answer questions. But
Damn,
meanwhile,
bro.
Trump
What
was
the fuck?
non-flagrant. Trump literally said,
Hey, GG's, dog. GG's.
if I do this thing